What's going on, beautiful people of YouTube? It's Renebean. Welcome back to another episode of Life of a Game Hunter / Collector. What are we going to be doing today? Well, I've done a few videos like this before. We're going to go into the eBay room. We got, I don't know, 10 or 12 packages, maybe more going out. I'm going to show you some tips and tricks on getting those out. A little bit of backstory on how they sold, why they sold, and what I got for them. As well as a package came in, so we will be opening that up at the end of the video. So this weekend wasn't the hottest as far as sales. Like I said, I believe we got 10, 12 eBay packages, as well as I had 2 or 3 Instagram private solds, and then I had one local sale that I did for 60, 70 bucks. So it was like a $350, $400 weekend, which is not terrible. It's just not as fruitful as I would have liked it to have been. So what we're going to do in the office is just the eBay packages. So let's go over there. Let's get to work. Alright guys, so here we are in what everybody likes to call, including myself, the eBay room. It's just my office where I list things, where I package things, get everything done. And this is what sold Saturday and Sunday. Kind of a slow week, but that's okay. We still got a little more than $200 worth of stuff here. This is actually not eBay. This was bought from a subscriber, as well as a PS2 that I did on Instagram, and then I sold like a Wii locally. So it was like a $350 weekend. Not terrible, not ideal, but it's still good enough. So I'm going to show you some of the packaging tips that I like to do, and we'll talk about all this stuff that I sold individually and give you a little bit more detail on how it did. So let's do it. Alright, so I guess we'll go ahead and get the one that's not eBay out of the way. Like I said, this was sold to a subscriber. This was right after my Macari eBay packages video went up. The second went up. I had 2 people already interested in this. Sold to the first person that asked about it. I sold this for 20 bucks. It's just a box and manual. So it was a good deal for him. I always like to give, subscribers the best deals that I can. So this will be first class shipping all the way, but I will not just stick this in a bubble mailer. That would be asinine. This is a very nice box, very good condition. So we're going to protect it a little bit. So first thing we're going to do is grab some bubble wrap. Go ahead and add a little tape so it doesn't fly out. The bubble wrap on the ends actually protects it from bouncing around in the box that I'm going to put it in. This will still be first class all the way. Alright, so we got us a box here. This one's good size. This will work well. It'll still meet under first class requirements, which I believe, if you go to the post office, it's 13 ounces under. If you sell on eBay, of course, it's going to be 16 ounces. And PayPal is also 16 ounces. So I'm going to ship a label via PayPal. If you don't know how to do that, you can, I think it's paypal.com/createlabel if I'm not mistaken. And that way you don't have to go to the store or go to the USPS and actually have them make a label for you and take up more time. You can get it done at home, and then if you schedule a pickup, then there you go. So this is going to go right inside. I'm going to put 2 balloons in there so it won't bounce around. We're going to close it up, tape it up, and we got to get rid of this priority mail though. You can't have anything on your package that says priority mail if it is not priority mail. And there we go. This one will be weighed up, and I'll buy a label on PayPal and get that out to him. And he should be happy with it. This type of person, he likes to have things really nice condition, and I think that is really nice. You saw the quality of it. So with that done, let's move on to the actual eBay packages. Alright, so next up is a Game Boy case here. I sell these quite often. I sold this one for $14, free shipping. Very light, easy to package. People think these things don't sell, but I think I sold 4 in the last 2 weeks maybe. So let's go ahead and package this one up. So with something like this, very simple. All I'm going to do is throw in one of my thank you notes, which I told you guys about. It's a very good thing to do. Not only are you thanking the customer, but you're also telling them to message you if they got a problem before they decide to go hit that feedback button or open up a case, and you might be able to resolve it. So just like that, that one is good to go. One thing I like to do on here is I like to write exactly what it is. So I'm going to put Game Boy case on there, and then I'll weigh it whenever I'm done in doing a bulk shipping order. So I just set this off to the side. Next up, Spectral Force 3. I remember picking this up for I think like $1 at the flea market, if I'm not mistaken. Wasn't something that I was into, so I decided to get rid of it. In order to sell a game, what I like to do and what everybody should do, it's the best protection you can do, is take you some spare bubble wrap and get you a padded mailer out. And I like to ball this up, take my thank you, pad that up, stick this right on top of the center of the spindle there, close this up, that way the disc doesn't go flying around in there during shipping. And that way they have to see the note, which is always good. Sometimes they don't see it, that's okay. I'm going to close that up, and voila, that one's done. The next one up's got me a little nervous. This is a Beavis and Butthead little tin lunchbox. I remember picking this up at a yard sale this year. I picked up 2 of them, and I want to say I paid like $1 or $2 a piece for them. I sold this one for, let me see here, for $15.99 free shipping. It will be first class, but getting it to be first class in a box is going to be the challenge. I weighed it before I listed it just to make sure it's not going to be too hard of a task to do. The problem is if you go over, you know, that allotted 16 ounces, it's no longer first class. So you got to make sure you get under 16 ounces to keep this first class and keep that shipping nice and cheap. So I'm going to look for a box and see what the best option I have is. Alright, so I found a box, but as you can see on the inside, look at all that empty space. If I can get rid of all this, this is 13 ounces now. If I can cut that off, I might be able to get this under 10 ounces maybe. And if that's the case, I'm going to save maybe about $1 on shipping. So how I'm going to do that is we're going to Frankenstein this box a little bit. We'll actually put that in there for a measurement. Frankenstein in boxes, I mean, this happens if you are a reseller. You're going to have to do it at some point. So I'm going to take a little quick measurement here. Alright guys, so there we go. It's not the prettiest as far as a Frankenstein package goes, but it did save me 2 ounces on there. Cutting me about $1 off, so that's alright. So I'm, like I said, I'm in a little bit of a hurry. I want to get these packages done so I can get to the PO. But a Frankenstein is just like it sounds. It is a formed box that you make yourself. So let's move on to the next package. Next one up, we got Journey Escape for the Atari 2600. A while back, I decided to list a handful of my Atari games just because I'm not playing them. I don't think I'm going to be collecting for Atari that much. There are a few games that I do want, but they're games that I most likely will never get. So with these, I always double check and make sure that the game is in there. So the right game's in there. I'm going to close this back up, make sure it ain't bouncing around too hard. I may have to throw a little bit of bubble wrap on the top. I think I will. Yeah, I'll put just a smidge on the top. I'm going to slide this back into the protective case because I said that they could have that with the listing itself. And we are going to throw 1 layer of bubble wrap on here. So one thing that's really nice that I have done, you get a quarterly coupon depending on your store subscription on eBay. I bought some of these stickers just because I was fully stocked on all the other things that I could get from them. And these things are actually kind of nice for bubble wrap whenever you're doing eBay packages, because it makes it look a little bit more professional on the sides. You throw that right there, and you got that nice little sliver. It looks pretty good. Alright, so once we got that in a box that it'll actually fit, we got that padded up, I'm going to write on there what it is, of course, like I do with all of them. Alright, next up, we got this hat. I sold this for $9 free shipping. This actually sat for quite some time. Lowered the price and eventually went. I don't pay that much for hats unless they're really nice fitted hats at a yard sale. This one is, I think this is a one size kind of fits all. It's like a medium to large, but it's not fitted. But $9 free shipping is not terrible. It's just not that great for something that has sat for more than a couple months. Regardless, with all the hats that I sell, I always put them in a box. I don't ever put them in a bag. I feel someone who wants a hat, they don't want it to be crushed. If this was to be under a heavier package and have the bill bent or something happen to it, I'm sure they wouldn't be happy with it. So I got these nice small boxes. They keep everything under first class. They don't add that much weight to them, and they work out really well. And I think the customer appreciates that a lot more. Next up, we got Dr. Mario for the Game Boy Advance. It's Dr. Mario. It's cheap. I don't think I paid anything for this. I sold it for $9. Pretty cheap, actually. Throw a note in there. I don't have to do any special packaging. This thing is going to weigh less than an ounce. And we don't have to do anything crazy with it. As long as you tested it beforehand, you're good to go. Dr. Mario. Bam. That package is done. Another cheap package I sold. This was Jurassic Park and WrestleMania for the Sega Genesis. Sold this for $10. free shipping. This was before the uppage on the USPS that it does every year for the shipping rates. Would have been a better deal back then, but it's still not that bad on this one. Since it's 2 items, I don't want them jingling around in there, so I'm going to throw just a little bit of bubble wrap on there. Whenever I get a package and I shake it and I hear things moving around, bugs the hell out of me. Throw it in our bubble mailer, which I honestly don't know what I pay for these things. Maybe 10 cents a piece, maybe. I order them in bulk. A lot of people ask me for my supplies. I got to remember to start linking them. But I buy these 250 or 500 at a time. Going to the dollar store and paying $1 for like 6 of them, which I hear some of you guys doing out there would bankrupt somebody. So anyways, let's throw this in there. Alright, next up is another subscriber package. It was bought through eBay, but it was from a subscriber. Sent me a message, says, hey, I'm a subscriber. I need this for my collection. Hooked him up with a good deal. I sold this. This has sat for a while. I actually sold this for $7.50. Mega Man X collection. Was sitting for quite some time. This is a dual-sided case. I need to save that one. Throw that in there. I don't need to put a thank you note in there. He's bought from me before, and I'm happy to get this out of the store. But in order to ship this a little bit safer than what that is right there, we're going to throw some cardboard on either side. So with this, I'll stick the cardboard in the package first. It makes it easier to slide in the disc between it. And then just slide that in between the cardboard there. Typically, you don't want to have something that cheap in your store, but I think I had it higher. Just kept knocking off the price till it finally went. And I think I had it at $10, and he sent me an offer. I could be wrong. I know I accepted the offer that he sent when he told me it was a subscriber, but you don't want to have something that cheap. It's just going to sit. If it's going to sit for a while, you'll end up paying more in fees in the long run. Next up, we got some Dansko shoes, nursing shoes. I pick these up all the time at yard sales. They always sell for quite a bit. I don't know how that got in there. They paid for shipping, so I believe they paid $18 for the shoes, and they paid for shipping on top of that. They paid for priority mail shipping. I'm pretty sure. I'll double check that. Actually, let me check that real quick now. Found me a good box. One thing I do whenever I sell shoes, always wrap them up individually to avoid scuffing them by rubbing up against each other. A lot of people don't do that, and they'll get shoes that whenever they get shipped to them, they have scuff marks from them being rubbed up right next to each other. Alright, so there we go. We got the Danskos in the box. They're not running around. They're not going crazy. Individually wrapped with a thank you note. Will be shipped out priority mail. So let's move on to, I believe, the last package. So here we are, the Xbox One Connect. This is actually mine, but believe it or not, I had this for the longest time. And I was sitting like Friday, Saturday, and I was looking at it on the rack that I have, and I was like, I don't even have that thing cut on. It hasn't been cut on in over a year. I was like, I need to sell this thing. It's not doing me any good. I will never use it. So with that said, let's go ahead and package this thing up. Immediately after this sold, he sends me a message like, make sure it's packaged well. For something like this, obviously it's going to be packaged to the best of my ability. So first steps first is going to be a good bit of bubble wrap. So let's do it. So we're going to use that same box that we did with the Dansko. It's going to be about the perfect size. Even though this is just a transfer switch, I am going to wrap that up one time with some bubble wrap. And there we go. That is the Nintendo, or wow, I about said Nintendo Connect. The Xbox Connect that I sold. I sold this for $70 free ship. The shipping shouldn't cost me more than about $10. I'm going to write Connect on there since I got the Danskos to worry about. Alright guys, that's it. We got these all packaged up. I got my scan form right there. All I got to do is take that, let them zap that since I'm not doing a scheduled pickup and I don't have to have this stuff individually scanned. I'm telling you, if you want friends at the post office, learn how to make a scan form. That way you do not have to sit there and have the stuff individually scanned. So hopefully you learned something. We're going to head over to the game room. We're going to check out that one package that got sent in and end this up. So let's do it. Alright guys, so here we are in the game room, and I got one package to open up. Like I said in the previous vlog, we may start doing this more often, where we just open these up versus, you know, once a month or every so whenever they accumulate. Just for the fact that if I'm doing trades with people out there, or if I'm doing work for them, I can get this stuff back out to them sooner, and they're not waiting. So with that said, this package here is from a Mr. Frank C. I'm not familiar with the name. Like I said, if you put a username on there, I'm a lot more familiar with those. And if there's a note in there, if there's a trade, or if I'm doing work for you, it definitely helps me out. So what did Mr. Frank send? I am honestly not too sure. Oh, goodness. It's only a matter of time before I get yapped by these razor blades, man. Alright, let's see. I'm not sure if there is a note or not. Got a padded mailer right on the top of it. That's pretty damn cool. Because I can use the heck out of these. Alright, what is this? What in the world? What did you send? So this is the most wild bootleg I've seen in a while right here. It's got Sega all over it. But it's not Sega. It can't be Sega. Look on the back here. Let me show you this thing. This is going to be a bootleg episode for sure. But one thing on the back, right here, Super Mario World. Nintendo wouldn't have any of that. This is wild. And then you got this bootleg cart here, Tropical Lab. We're gonna have to do an episode on this thing. It's like the Sega that never was. How did this slip past? There's no way this could be like an official Sega product. This has to be completely bootleg as can be. That is awesome. I love bootlegs and I love controversial ones. And I'm sure that may even play Sega games, like in the actual cartridge slot. We'll have to go over this in more detail. Look at it modeled after. This is unreal. Thank you for that, Mr. Frank. I am not familiar with this thing at all. High grade multi-purpose use, it says. I doubt that. How did they get away with Sega on there? That's unreal to me. And then they have like Mario on the box. Sega and Nintendo don't play those games. Look at it, even on the back. It says Sega. Completely modeled. And that thing is light. Oh my goodness. I wondered why it was so light in the box. That's unreal. So we'll do a full episode of Bootleg Central on this one. So I don't know how to say it, but Sega Mega Drive 2 bootleg console. This is unreal. Very awesome. We're gonna have to definitely do an episode on this thing. Pretty wild. When you see the games that are on here, this cannot be Sega, not at all. Alright guys, so that's it for the episode. I hope y'all enjoyed, learned something through some eBay shipping and whatnot. Get out there, get that money, keep hustling, and as always, take care and enjoy the rest of your day.